How could you see him?
Because I was inverted.
Bullshit.
In Mission Impossible Fallout, Henry Cavill's famous bicep reload wasn't planned. He did it naturally between takes. The director loved it, showed him the footage, and had him do it again, making it an iconic action moment. The moment was so good that it was even referenced in Deadpool 3.
You were just leaving.
No, sir. Not while the fate of my universe is at...
In Captain Marvel, one of Nick Fury's funniest moments was completely improvised by Samuel L. Jackson. When examining the dead skull, Fury lifts its eyelid to take a peek, something that wasn't in the script. Jackson added the moment on his own, and the directors loved it so much they kept it in the final cut. In Prisoners, the intense scene where Hugh Jackman's character threatens Paul Dano with a hammer and smashes the sink was completely improvised. Terrence Howard's shocked reaction was also real, as he had no idea Jackman was going to do it. In Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Gene Wilder came up with Wonka's dramatic entrance. He pretends to be weak with a cane, then suddenly somersaults and stands up fine. Wilder wanted this moment to show that no one could ever tell if Wonka was being honest or not. In The Irishman, during the prison cafeteria fight over the phrase, "you people," Stephen Graham decided to knock Al Pacino's ice cream off the table, even though it wasn't in the script.
You people. You people.
What'd you say?
Oh my God.
He got Martin Scorsese's approval beforehand, but didn't tell Pacino, so his shocked reaction in the scene was completely real. In Free Guy, Ryan Reynolds came up with the scene where two little girls call Guy an NPC. Director Sean Levy loved the idea so much that he filmed it with his own daughters in their bedroom after the main shoot had wrapped.
Go back to your side, man. He's just an NPC. Waste that motherfucker.
Okay. In Top Gun, when Maverick claims he was flying inverted near a MiG, Iceman reacts with a sarcastic cough, making everyone laugh.
Because I was inverted.
Bullshit.
Val Kilmer improvised the moment, and the cast's reactions were completely genuine.
Bullshit.
We could just go in there and beat him with a phone book.
In The Heat, Michael McDonald told Melissa McCarthy to throw a real phone book at him, promising to dodge if it got too close. But she was closer than he expected, and he took the hit straight to the face. In Titanic, as Jack and Rose cling to the stern while the ship begins its final plunge, Rose softly says,
"Jack, this is where we first met."
Leonardo DiCaprio wasn't expecting the line. Kate Winslet improvised it. His brief look of confusion before kissing her forehead was completely genuine. In Temple of Doom, there's a hidden gem of a scene where Indy and Short Round play cards in the jungle, while Willie screams in the background.
Hey, you cheat, Dr. Jones, you cheat.
Originally, they were just supposed to play, but Harrison Ford and the child actor decided to ad-lib a hilarious sequence where they both cheat each other.
You accuse me of cheating? You cheated.
George Lucas objected, saying Indy wouldn't cheat a kid, but Spielberg loved it, so the scene stayed.
Dr. Jones, you cheat.
In Avengers Endgame, the paper football game between Tony and Nebula wasn't in the script. Robert Downey Jr. and Karen Gillan improvised it, adding a touching moment to their bond while stranded in space.
And you've won. Congratulations.
In Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Winston Duke improvised one of M'Baku's funniest moments when he unexpectedly threw an unscripted insult at Okoye, making the scene even more memorable.
Fuzzy adornments.
You bald-headed demon.
Show some respect, you two.
In Ocean's 11, when Basher sets off the EMP, he instinctively covers his crotch and turns away from the blast. That little detail wasn't in the script. Don Cheadle improvised it, adding a funny and human touch to the scene. In Spaceballs, the scene where Dark Helmet plays with action figures wasn't in the script. Rick Moranis improvised the whole thing, including this iconic line.
Jewish princesses are often attracted to money and power, and I have both.
One of the classic gags in Monty Python and the Holy Grail is that the characters aren't actually on horses, but bang coconuts together to make it sound as if they are. This idea came from Michael Palin, who thought of it because they genuinely couldn't afford horses for the movie.
Who's that then? I don't know. Must be a king. Why? He hasn't got shit all over him.
In Teen Wolf, during the final basketball game celebration, an extra in the crowd accidentally stands up with their pants unzipped. Realizing the mistake, they quickly try to cover it up, but not before it's caught on camera. In Breaking Bad, the scene where Walter White angrily throws a pizza onto the roof wasn't supposed to happen the way it did. Bryan Cranston was just meant to toss it in frustration, but by pure luck, the pizza landed perfectly in one shot. The unplanned moment was so good that they kept it in. In A Shot in the Dark, Herbert Lom begins winking uncontrollably after Peter Sellers winks at him. Director Blake Edwards loves it, and this leads to Dreyfuss's iconic twitchy eye. In The Princess Diaries, Lily's now iconic line was completely improvised.
Wait up! Wait for me! Not you! I don't even know you!
Producer Deborah Martin Chase encouraged Heather Matarazzo to add something extra to the scene, and she came up with the perfect reaction. The off-the-cuff moment became a fan favorite, with many viewers still quoting it years later.
Wait up! Wait for me! Not you! I don't even know you!
In The Conversation, during the opening scene, a mime is bothering parkgoers when two loose dogs unexpectedly walk by him. Caught off guard, he briefly breaks character, nervously looks around for their owners, and quickly moves away before resuming his act. This was obviously unscripted. In Thor Ragnarok, the funny snake story where Thor talks about Loki turning into a snake to trick him wasn't in the script. Chris Hemsworth improvised it, coming up with different versions while filming.
He transformed himself into a snake, so I went to pick up the snake to admire it, and he transformed back into himself, and he was like, "Yeah, it's me!" And he stabbed me.
The director let him experiment, and this version made the final cut. Loki's subtle smile after the snake story was him trying to stay in character. In Mean Girls, Lacey Chabert improvised a real slap when Katie catches Gretchen and Jason kissing, making his shocked reaction completely genuine. Also, Daniel Franzese improvised the iconic moment when Damien yells from the car, demanding his pink shirt back, a line that became one of his most memorable in the film.
And I want my pink shirt back!
In The Devil Wears Prada, Emily Blunt improvised one of her most memorable lines after overhearing a mother saying something similar to her child in a supermarket.
Yeah, I'm hearing this, and I want to hear this.
Meryl Streep also made a key change to one of the film's most iconic moments. Instead of saying, "Everybody wants to be me," she said,
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this.
In The Last Jedi, Mark Hamill improvised Luke's forehead kiss to Leia in their final scene together. He felt it was the perfect way to express Luke's goodbye without words. In Julie and Julia, Stanley Tucci improvised one of the film's charming moments while playing Paul Child. During a scene where Meryl Streep wonders what she should do in Paris, Paul asks,
"What is it that you really like to do?"
Eat.
Tucci then came up with his next line on the spot.
And you're so good at it. Look at you.
This off-the-cuff remark added warmth and playfulness to their relationship, making the scene feel even more authentic. In Trainwreck, it was Daniel Radcliffe's idea for his character to walk dogs using a leash that attached to his waist. He'd seen someone doing the same on the West Side Highway and thought it was funny. The iconic old-time rock and roll dance scene in Risky Business was mostly improvised by Tom Cruise, as the script simply instructed, Joel dances in underwear through the house. In Crazy Stupid Love, the iconic Dirty Dancing lift wasn't in the script. It came from Ryan Gosling's real life. He once used the move to impress a girl, and when he shared the story, the directors insisted on adding it. Gosling protested, but they kept it in, leading to one of the film's most unforgettable and charming moments. In A Few Good Men, Jack Nicholson's original line was, "You already have the truth," but Nicholson tweaked it, creating one of the most unforgettable moments in film history.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!